Have you ever witnessed a moment when an ordinary man did something extraordinary? Not for glory, not for himself, but because his child's words gave him strength. Today's story is about a single dad who risked everything to protect someone he barely knew, only for his life to change forever when the most unexpected person knocked on his door the very next day. Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss stories that inspire courage and hope. The evening air was heavy with silence, broken only by the faint hum of street lights and the occasional bark of a stray dog. Ethan, a 35-year-old single father, walked hand in hand with his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, down the quiet suburban street. He had just picked her up from her ballet class, and the pink ribbon still hung from her ponytail as she skipped lightly beside him. Life hadn't been easy for Ethan since his wife passed away 3 years earlier, leaving him to raise Lily alone. He worked long hours as a mechanic in a small garage, stretching every dollar to pay rent and keep food on the table. But no matter how exhausted he was, he never missed walking Lily home after class. For her, he tried to be both father and mother. As they approached the corner near the old convenience store, Lily suddenly tugged at his hand. "Daddy, look," she whispered, pointing toward the dimly lit alley. Ethan followed her gaze and saw two men cornering a young woman against the wall. Her face was pale, her hands trembling as one of the men yanked at her purse while the other blocked her path. The woman's muffled pleas were barely audible, but the fear in her eyes pierced Ethan's chest. "Let's keep walking," he muttered under his breath, instinctively pulling Lily closer. He wasn't a fighter, never had been. His life was about fixing broken cars, not getting into trouble. But just as he turned away, Lily's small voice stopped him cold. "Daddy, please help her." Her eyes, wide, innocent, and filled with trust, looked up at him. And in that instant, something inside Ethan shifted. He knew he couldn't walk away. Not when his daughter believed he was her hero. He gently pushed Lily behind a tree. "Stay here, baby. Don't move until I say." She nodded, clutching her stuffed bunny against her chest. Ethan's heart pounded as he stepped into the alley. "Hey, leave her alone." His voice cracked slightly, but it carried enough weight to make the men pause. One of them sneered, a scar running across his cheek. "Mind your business, old man. Walk away before you regret it." But Ethan didn't walk away. He thought of Lily watching. Thought of the woman trembling. Thought of the promise he silently made to his late wife, that he would raise their daughter to believe in goodness and courage. So when the thug lunged forward, Ethan fought back with a strength he didn't know he had. The struggle was brutal. Ethan took punches, his ribs aching, his lips split open. But fueled by adrenaline and the echo of his daughter's plea, he pushed forward. He grabbed a broken wooden plank from the ground, swinging it with raw determination. Within minutes, the two men staggered and fled, cursing under their breath. The woman collapsed to the ground, tears streaming down her face. Ethan knelt beside her. "Are you okay?" She nodded weakly, whispering a shaky thank you. Lily ran into the alley, wrapping her tiny arms around her father's waist. "Daddy, you're my hero," she whispered. Ethan hugged her tightly, ignoring the pain in his bruised body. That night, as he tucked Lily into bed, Ethan tried to downplay what had happened. "I just did what anyone would do," he said softly. But Lily shook her head firmly. "Not everyone, Daddy, only you." Ethan smiled, though his heart still raced with worry. He didn't know who those men were or if they would come back, but at least for tonight, his daughter was safe, and so was the woman he had helped. He thought that would be the end of it. He couldn't have been more wrong. The next morning, the sun streamed weakly through the cracked blinds of Ethan's small apartment. His body ached from the fight, every muscle screaming in protest. But he got up anyway, preparing Lily's breakfast before heading to the garage. Just as he was about to leave, a sharp knock rattled the front door. Ethan frowned, glancing through the peephole. A sleek black car was parked outside, and standing at his doorstep was a tall, sharply dressed man in a tailored suit. He looked out of place in their run-down neighborhood. Ethan hesitated before opening the door. "Mr. Carter?" the man asked, his voice calm but commanding. Ethan nodded cautiously. "Yes, that's me." The man extended a hand. "I'm Daniel Whitmore, CEO of Whitmore Enterprises." Ethan's stomach tightened. Whitmore Enterprises was one of the biggest companies in the city. What could a man like this possibly want with him? Before Ethan could respond, another familiar figure stepped forward from behind the CEO. It was the woman from last night. Her eyes were no longer filled with fear. Instead, they carried warmth and gratitude. "This is the man I told you about," she said softly. Daniel Whitmore's gaze softened. "Mr. Carter, the woman you saved is my sister, Emily." Ethan blinked, stunned. The pieces clicked together. The expensive car, the CEO, the woman he had rescued. I didn't know," Ethan stammered. "You didn't need to know," Daniel said firmly. "You risked your life for her without hesitation. That kind of courage is rare." Ethan shifted uncomfortably, rubbing the back of his neck. "I just couldn't walk away." Lily peeked from behind her father, curiosity shining in her eyes. Emily bent down, smiling gently at her. "You must be the brave little girl who asked your daddy to help me." Lily nodded shyly, clutching her bunny tighter. Emily's smile widened. "You're the reason I'm safe today." Daniel reached into his jacket, pulling out a sleek envelope. "Mr. Carter, I know life hasn't been easy for you. Consider this a small token of gratitude." Ethan opened the envelope and froze. It was a check with more zeros than he had ever seen in his life. "I can't accept this," Ethan said quickly, pushing it back. "I didn't do it for money." Daniel studied him for a moment before slipping the envelope back into his hand. "I understand, but at least let me help. Not for what you did, but for the kind of man you are. I run a foundation that supports people like you. Hardworking, honest, and brave. Come work with us. I'll make sure you and your daughter have a better future." Ethan's throat tightened. He thought of Lily, of the countless nights he had stayed up worrying about bills, of the sacrifices he had made to give her even a fraction of a normal childhood. Tears pre-cricked his eyes, but he quickly blinked them away. I don't know what to say." "Say yes, Daddy," Lily piped up, her innocent voice breaking the tension. Everyone laughed softly, the heaviness of the moment lifting. That day marked the beginning of a new chapter in Ethan's life. What started as a desperate fight in a dark alley turned into an opportunity he had never dreamed of. He wasn't just a struggling single dad anymore. He was a man who proved that courage, even in the face of fear, could change everything. And as he watched Lily's smile grow brighter with each passing day, Ethan realized something. Being a hero wasn't about winning every fight. It was about showing up, about protecting others, about living with integrity. That was the legacy he would pass on to his daughter. So remember, sometimes the smallest voices, like a little girl whispering, "Daddy, please help her," can spark the greatest acts of courage. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire hope, love, and bravery. Thank you for watching.